are so under arrest. Now, it was no way unreasonable for Twilight to be here right now. After everything she had been through, all the massive quantities of paper she was expected to undertake as a princess, she deserved a little rest and relaxation. So here she was with all of her family, looking forward to a nice long cruise to get her mind off of the stress and duties expected of her. Unfortunately, that's not what happened, and now she finds herself face to face with a figure she never expected to have seen again, or even want to see again, Iron Will, the towering monitor looking at her with an underconfidence was in no way a pleasing sight, and was in fact something that caused Twilight a great deal of discomfort. After everything he put Farsight and her other friends through, she hoped never to see him again. Still, he was here all the same, and now she was going to have to deal with him. So deal with him she did. So let me get this straight. You told all those people out there that this cruise was an opportunity for them to get up close and personal with me and my sister-in-law? Placing his hands upon his hips, Iron Will nodded. That is correct, little lady. Ignoring the rather unpleasant way he just addressed her, Twilight signed and continued. So putting aside the fact that you used a questing warrior as a publicly stunt without asking her permission, you basically lied to all these people? To that, Iron Will seemed to look almost offended. I most certainly did not. Look! From out of nowhere, he pulled out what appeared to be a contact of some kind of pointing to a few passengers on it. As you can see here and here, it's very clear that this cruise was in no way a building agreement for me to prevent any such interactions between the passengers and any princesses of any kind. Twilight slapped her hooves against her forehead. Will you just announce that this was a princess cruise to every pony out there? Rolling up the contract, Iron Will folded his arms and huffed. I'd like to remind you, princess, that since you and your friend Cadence are in fact on board right now, I have made good on my announcements. To that, Twilight frowned. Every pony out there is under the impression that Cadence and me came here willing for them to spend time with. That's a complete and total lie on your part. We came here to get away from all that, and you know it. And what's worse, you misled my parents to make all this happen. Raising both hands, Iron Will tried to put on a more diplomatic face. Okay then, I have an idea. One that I think you can appreciate, princess. I doubt it, Twilight remarked with a deepened seriousness. Clearing his throat, Iron Will began to explain. How about this? If you, Twilight Sparkle, agree to go along with all the activities I have planned for my passengers, I'll let Cadence and the rest of the family free to enjoy the cruise like they want it. And who knows, you might have time to enjoy it with them yourself if you get through all this stuff in time. Placing the hoof on her chin, Twilight pounded that. It would be a reasonable compromise, wouldn't it? Folding his arms again, Iron Will gave a firm nod, looking very pleased with the ideal he just presented. Unfortunately for him, Twilight did not appear to share this sentiment, and so looked at him with pure seriousness. Or how about we do this instead? Before the Minotaur could react, Twilight's horn lit up and there was a near blinking flash of light. When it died down, Will found to his shock, with his hands were now placed in cuffs that were chained to the wall to the side. What the? He exclaimed. Looking rather satisfied, Twilight pointed her hoof straight at him. I will, by the authority granted to me as the Princess of Equestria, you are under arrest. Naturally, Will wasn't too happy about this. What? On what grounds? As if hoping for that very question, Twilight began to explain. Well, first of all, false advertising, as we've already discussed. But Will began, but Twilight cut him off. And that's just the first crime you're going to have to answer for. There's Also, the time matter of your various con acts throughout Equestria. Will seem indignant at that. I assure you, Princess, Iowa does not con ponies. Twilight found. Oh, so you deny involvement in your needless aggression self-confidence classes, which have resulted in thousands of bits worth of assault lawsuits across the land as the consequence of what you taught ponies? Will looked away. Iron Will and Iron Will's self-help classes are not liable of any damages to property or persons as the result of actions taken by those who took the classes. Though Twilight was almost impressed with the natural way he spoken off that bit of fine print, that didn't stop her from continuing. There's also the matter of other so-called beneficial schemes you come up with. Schemes that Equestria authorities have been wanting to bring you in over for a while now. Will huffed. Iron Will has no idea what you're talking about. In response, Twilight smirked. Oh, I never said it was Iron Will who led those screams. There were a number of other names associated with them. Briefly, Will looked to her with nervousness, even sweating a little, though said nothing as she continued. There was the health food promotions by a certain zinc Tony which lead to mass food poisoning, the selling of fake unsolicited by one copper Carl, which ended with about 2 dozen homes being reproduced. And let's not forget the unlicensed selling of books for, well, imitate purposes being sold by the Monitor under the name of, Iron Willie. The last one caused the Monitor some measure of embarrassment, as he now looked away from the authoritative Alicorn. Iron Will was running out of ideas that day. Twilight shook her head. Bottom line, you're a criminal, and you will be facing justice for everything. She giggled. See what I did there? Because your name is Will and... never mind. Not panicking, Will seemed to be thinking hard on how to get out of this. But what about the passengers or your family? They're going to be very disappointed that they won't get the cruise they were hoping for. To that, Twilight nodded. True, although mischievous smirk came to her. It takes some time for this airship to make its full journey on autopilot, so I'm fully certain my family can get in everything they want to do. As for the others, well, she turned around, heading for the door of the cabin. I'm sure they won't be too upset on not getting to spend time with the princess when they hear that they're on a free cruise. The word almost caught in Will's throat. Free? Looking back to him, Twilight nodded, still smiling. Oh, certainly. After all, we can't allow a known criminal to get all those ill-gotten cruise fares, now can we? Seeing the flabbergasted look on his face, Twilight rolled her eyes. Oh, don't be so upset. You still have plenty of money after all this. Then her eyes narrowed. That is, unless you want us to actually look all those illegal offshore accounts I forgot to mention earlier. Hearing that, Will paused, thinking on that before slumping his shoulders and sitting on the ground. Iron Will behave himself. Twilight smiled. Good. Boy, oh, and before I forget, her horn lit up again. Within moments, Will found himself shocked to discover that his gold assistant was not beside him. Similar chained up. Here's your friend, just so you won't get lonely here for the rest of the trip. She opened the door, taking a step outside. I'll have some boy send you a meal later. Have fun, you two. And with that, she closed the door, leaving the two con artists in there in utter silence. Getting out a disgruntled sign, Will leaned against the wall, all while his assistant looked around, trying to wrap his head around what had just happened. After a while, he looked to his boss. Bah? Will frowned. Don't worry, I'll just tell them this was your idea.